What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Monday, the 13th of April, 2020. Jericho Report on a Monday morning. It's kind of strange, right? We're living in strange times. A lot to do over the weekend. Had to do my video from yesterday. Check that one out if you haven't. But I still have a lot of news to give you. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. Now, I am moving from Blogspot over to Patreon, but don't worry. You will not have to sign in. You should be able to click the link and it should pop up just like the Blogspot post always popped up. The reason I'm doing that, because YouTube has fully demonetized this channel. Google owns Blogspot. They fully demonetized my Blogspot as well. So I'm going to be transferring all my content over to Patreon, but my content will always be posted public and free. If people choose to support me, that is entirely up to you. Let's get into the news, shall we? Looking at the numbers at this hour, we got nearly 2 million cases worldwide COVID-19, 114,000 deaths in the United States. We got 557,000 cases with 22,000 deaths. Keeping in mind, there's, 300 million people in this country and only 500,000 cases and 22,000 dead, but the country's shut down. I don't know, I'll put a link to the latest numbers. We got all kinds of news. Coronavirus patients report strange new symptom, fizzing. Gee, like you're being microwaved at 80 hertz. I'll put a link to this. Very strange indeed. Coronavirus found in air samples up to 13 feet from patients. Yahoo News via the AFP, but stay 6 feet away from people. Chinese tourist sites packed as country comes out of lockdown, but experts say risk is still high. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And 27 Pentagon memo foretold today's pandemic with creepy accuracy. Put this on top of all of the evidence that we have that this was all pre-planned. Other news, coronavirus. Trump declared major disaster in all 50 states at once. First time in American history this has happened. Very interesting times. Seattle burglary explodes 87% downtown after coronavirus lockdown policy. You mean the criminals refuse to stay at home? Same thing in Chicago. Chicago's top cop calls spike in violence pandemic of its own. That is draining resources from fighting coronavirus outbreak. In election news this week, we had Bernie Sanders suspends 2020 Democratic presidential campaign. Maybe the next time we'll feel the burn. I don't know. Here we go. Wicked Pelosi says she will include federally forced mail-in voting in next round of coronavirus aid. In financial news, how major U.S. stock indexes fared on Thursday, because Friday the markets were closed for Good Friday. Looks like on Thursday the Dow came up 285 points for the week. Eerie numbers, 2666.84 on Easter weekend for the Dow. So the Dow's coming back up. Eerie numbers. NPR puts job carnage mounts. 17 million file for unemployment in 3 weeks. 17 million unemployment in 3 weeks. IMF says world faces worst economic fallout since the Great Depression. Put a link to that. Coronavirus could push 500 million people into poverty if things weren't bad enough already. And nearly a third of apartment renters failed to pay landlords for April. So that rent strike going on is gaining steam. Food banks warn they'll soon run out of food as economic suffering explodes all over America. That from Zero Hedge. Meanwhile, dairies dump milk, frustration mounts over retail buying limits. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Had a dairy story last week too. Also this, we can't give our product away. Farmers toss thousands of acres of fruits and vegetables as sales plummet. How about we get those fruits and vegetables to the food pantries if we can? U.S. Postal Service could shut down by June. Lawmakers warn no more mail, and Chicago mayor signs executive order allowing illegal immigrants access to virus relief funds. Quiet to VA COVID positive. Medic 26 in St. Louis, Missouri, right there. Virginia governor signs gun control measures into law. Over to New World Order and police state news now, as we got China to join human rights panel to help pick experts on free speech health. Really? China has joined the human rights panel at the UN? Okay. Garden centers at large stores must close under governor's order. I think this is up in Michigan. Governor says you can't buy fruits and vegetables. What? I'll put a link to that. Head of ATM network warns cash could be almost killed off by the end of summer as shoppers switch to using cards and may never go back. Yes, the digital dollar has been introduced as well. Put a link to that. Why the coronavirus pandemic may fast forward 5G adoption in the United States. This came out March 20. Why indeed? Well, got to have that infrastructure up and running for the New World Order. And YouTube moves to limit spread of false coronavirus 5G theory. Got some videos coming up in my shout-out. Stay tuned for that. Over to World War III news. Hit by virus. Pentagon warns enemies don't test us. That from Yahoo News. China closes Russian borders, puts new city into Wuhan-style lockdown to contain pandemic. May not be World War III related, but they're closing borders, so I put that in the bin. China forces Italy to buy same coronavirus supplies it had donated to Beijing a few weeks ago. That's just not right. Put a link to that. Member of Iran's coronavirus task force says it's estimated 500,000 people in Iran have contracted the virus. Put a link to that. And Syria allows Hezbollah to gain foothold in Golden Heights. World War III news going on in the background on top of all the COVID stuff. UAE offers Assad $3 billion to strike Turkey-backed troops in Syria. Put a link to that. And expect a huge North Korean missile test. Expect surge in North Korean missile test and of greater range. That from Defense News. And one more. Trump vows to put very powerful hold on U.S. funding to World Health Organizations over COVID-19 response. Why is this in the World War III bin? Because I heard the World Health Organization fire back and say, don't politicize this unless you want to see more body bags. And I'm thinking to myself, what's that supposed to mean? Over to Earth Changes in 2012 news, and I got the earthquake set up for 6+ for the past week. Looks like we haven't had any 6+. Had a lot of 5+ going on. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. There was a little bit of volcano activity. I don't have a link on that, but nothing too severe. What's going on severe, though, is tornadoes strike multiple states. A severe weather outbreak unfolds on Easter Sunday. Across the southern United States, tornadoes everywhere. I hear there's casualties. My heart goes out to everybody to the south. Pope Francis says pandemic is nature's response to human inaction over climate change. Really? Really, Pope? Put a link to that. Cabo de Bridge fell. I don't know Spanish, but I translated this. Something about a bridge that fell in Mexico. Not Mexico, Italy. A bridge in Italy fell, which, I saw the picture and I better include that in the news. Something to do with the coronavirus, so you have to translate that. It's nothing really big other than that bridge falling. Coronavirus traces found in Massachusetts wastewater back in the United States. Levels far higher than expected. That's pretty big. Put a link to that from the New York Post. Never mind coronavirus. We got giant Asian hornets that can kill with one sting to invade virus-stricken U.S. Be advised, big hornets coming to kill us all. Meanwhile, another mass UFO sighting above Ohio. Things are getting weird. They got video on that 5 days ago. Don't know the website, but I'll put a link. The International Space Station apparently captured a fleet of hundreds of UFOs heading towards Earth. I'll put a link to this. I think they got video on that. Check that out. And very strange story with all of the asteroid and comet doom in the news. I wonder why COVID-19 forces Earth's largest telescopes to close. Really? Maybe so we don't see this thing coming at us? I don't know. That's my speculation. And Trump order encourages U.S. to mine the moon because the United States own the moon. We should mine that bitch. It's ours. Seriously? As if we haven't messed up the earth enough. Now we're still going to start cutting chunks out of the moon. Over to strange and bizarre news. A tiger at the Bronx Zoo tests positive for coronavirus. How did a tiger get coronavirus? Look at him. He's like, just bring me the human that did this to me. I'm on the tiger side, I'm telling you. Doctor arrested for allegedly choking teen girl over social distancing. People are so... They're beating the shit out of kids. There was I had a story last week, remember? That are getting too close on the playground. People are just strangling people. You're too close! Man, the programming is powerful. A police department down in Louisiana uses eerie siren from The Purge to signal the start of coronavirus curfew. Do you think that was an accident? I'll put a link to it. Man arrested after posting video coughing on gas pump handle. Where'd this come out of? Arizona? What is wrong with you people that are doing these sort of things? And stay away from me with your leaf blower. Leaf blowers banned for use in Sleepy Hollow for duration of coronavirus pandemic. They're blowing the coronavirus over to my yard. Meanwhile, grocery store customers tackle man who coughed and spat on food. Where did this happen? This happened in Massachusetts somewhere. I'll put a link to that. Celebrities call for total Hollywood strike until Trump resigns. Really? Does that include like Netflix stuff? Because I really enjoyed the last season of Ozark. Put a link to that. The Great Crawl of China. Tens of thousands of Chinese tourists are stuck in a jam-packed tourist attraction after reopening amid coronavirus pandemic. We are China! Let us in! Like I say, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. I don't know. For all other news, please check my favorite videos. I have favorited tons of stuff over the past week. Thank you to everybody who continues to put out content. I see the Show Me Baby's got some stuff. OEF Soldier put one out. Right on. Richie from Boston's over there. We got that World Health Organization guy. I got some Shepard Ambellas over there. Got all kinds of good stuff. Check my favorites out. All kinds of good stuff over there. Getting shout-outs this week. Speaking of shout out to Shepard Ambellas. He put out a video on Telehub. Shepard Ambellas calls for help on COVID-19 investigation. Check out his video. It's only 2.5 minutes long. He's calling for help on film hospitals and different stuff like that. Check that out. Check this out. The doctor, there's a doctor up in New York City ICU that explains that it's not the COVID-19 that's killing people. It's possibly the respirators that are destroying people's lungs. Check out this doctor's video. You really want to listen to what he has to say. Chances are you've already seen it, but check it out again and share it. because this guy is a real doctor and he's fighting COVID-19. Listen to what he has to say. Shout out to JamNoise72. She put out a great video. The Daily Mail years ago warned of the dangers of 5G, and now they're calling us all conspiracy theorists again. Check out her video. She's got the link on the article from years ago. Definitely some good information there. And check out Towers of Terror, the Beast System coming at you from Warrior for God 13. It is a longer video. It's 50 minutes long. Myself, I don't really like long videos, but every once in a while I'll listen to one. If you're looking for one to listen to in the background, definitely have a listen to what Warrior for God has to say. Great YouTuber, been around a long time. I've known him a long time, and a little bit of strong language, but definitely some good information in that video. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like the support, please give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst of YouTube, you never want to see again, please rate, though. It helps it move around. I do appreciate it. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, YouTube community feed, all my links are always at the bottom. And please consider supporting this channel on Patreon, because this week I got this notification from YouTube. My content focuses on controversial issues, okay, I'll give you that, but is harmful to viewers. So they're saying my content is harmful to viewers. They fully demonetized my channel. Not that I give a damn about the Google monies anyway. That's just the point of it. Harmful to viewers? Really? Anyway, please consider supporting me on Patreon or directly with PayPal. I want to say something, though. If you follow me on Patreon, my content will always be free. I am not going to charge people to watch my videos. I know some people on Patreon have different tiers and all that stuff. My content's always going to be free. If you choose to support me, that's entirely up to you, and I love you, and I thank you for any support, because it does take a lot to put these reports together. That's all I got. Please tell me what you think, where we're headed. What a week of news. If you haven't seen my video from yesterday, definitely check that out. Strange times we're living in, people. Strange times. I'll let you get back to your life, though. Thank you for sticking around for a few minutes. You guys take care, stay safe, have a good week. I will see you all in the next one.